What's up, guys? Galapagos Jay here. Today is going to be a first in a series of a number of videos. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm going to start refurbishing the Cosmic Kart that I got just a couple of days back. And yeah, not going to be talking that much, just a lot of taking down the things on the cart and stuff like that. Let's get started. So, I'm actually recording this voice over after the fact, and if it's like a completely new cart, usually the dismantling doesn't really take that long. But this cart was in such poor condition. I think it was from 2018, so it's been almost 5 years now. Anyway, so the previous owner really didn't take good care of it, and it's just rust everywhere. So it really took me a while to take everything apart, and I had to clean basically all of the major components. All the screws and stuff, I'm just gonna forget about it. But all the major components, they were either rusted or like the sizes were wrong. Like the original owner of this cart just really, it's like the most careless person ever. Like on the same part, like for example the front bumper or the front nose or something, there would be 3 different kinds of screws to fix the part in place. Normally you just have one type, so it's easier, you just use one tool. But for this guy, he has like 3 different types of screw for every single component. It's ridiculous. So taking apart like what you see now, most of this stuff didn't really take that long because those were the easier parts, like including all the engines and things like that. I think it only took me half a day, I think. But I was actually working on something else at the same time, so it was sort of slowing down. I was like so distracted. I had to set up like see that rack I'm putting all the parts in? That was actually built on that day, and it didn't have wheels, but I think the wheels arrived on the day as well, so I was like installing the wheels and things like that. Anyway, so this is basically a work in progress. As you can see, all the parts taken down, is all rusted. It's absolutely nasty. Yeah, basically all the parts are unusable. But yeah, so if you look at some of the components, the condition is still usable. Like these hubs, they're still okay. It's just that it's all scratched. The front disc plates are okay. I don't think that dude used it that much. This is the front brake system, where it's like it uses a handle behind the wheel for you to activate the front brakes. Now this is the steering column. As you can see, it's like a banana. I don't know how he crashed it, but it's like all bent. And this is the steering rod. Only one of them is straight. That one is straight, and this one is bent as well. And again, I have no idea how he did it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just, he's just so careless with his own stuff. Anyway, coming back to the chassis, you can see there are tons of rusted areas, and these would be the major areas I'd be working on once everything is stripped out. Now this part, it really got me stuck because they were using very like non-standard screws, so I didn't have the right tool to unscrew it. I think it was like a 7mm Allen key, and in my Allen key tool set I only had 6 and an 8, so that's pretty annoying. So you can see like the engine mount is all gunked up, and he has this like protective pad is all like I don't know what happened to it. It's all yeah, it's all flattened, probably because he was like, the ride height was so low that he's constantly scraping on the curbs or something. I don't know, but it's all like screwed. I won't be using that anyway. So that's the radiator, and yeah, so this is the second day already. Like I didn't finish all the stuff, so correction in my earlier comment that I took down the engine on the first day. This is the second day already, and I'm taking down this part was actually quite easy. It's more about disconnecting all the hoses and letting all the old water out. That's the caster set. That's the caster set. It's all like oxidized and stuff. I won't be using that. There's a lot of stuff breaking off of it. Yeah, it's all screwed. I'll be buying a completely new set. And this is just a look at the engine mount. It's just so dirty. Alright guys, so after a couple of days of working on the dismantling of the kart, basically all done. You can see there's a lot of rust, which I'm going to have to treat. I'm going to strip all the paint off this chassis so that I can send it off and have it repainted in the color of my choice, which is going to be blue anyway. All the parts are out in bulk. The reason why I didn't dismantle the cassettes yet is the Allen key, the jimmy screws, sorry. The jimmy screws are somewhat screwed. I sprayed some WD-40 over the weekend just to let it sit, so later I might be able to get them out. And I have basically all of the screws packed and separated into their component parts, and I've already taken the time to sort of measure and note down all of the sizes, so I will be buying all of these screws completely new, including the, what do you call it, the caster set, the spacers, and yeah, basically everything is taken out. And the brake system I've also completely taken apart, so I will be doing a rebuild of the calipers and the brake pistons and all that stuff. So the biggest thing that I was worried about for this kart was that the chassis would be bent, you know, given the fact that the steering column and the steering rod was bent. But good thing is it wasn't. It's completely flat, so it's great. Alright guys, so I've just cleaned out the entire braking system. Every part has been dismantled, and yeah, it looks a billion times better than the condition I got in. Nay, a trillion times. This is absolutely night and day. I'll let you have a look at what the other parts look like when they came in. Like the brake caliper was literally like this in this condition, just covered in this thick layer of gunk, oil and dirt. You know, it just looked like that, and now it's like shiny again. It looks like a proper OTK part. You know.
2 hours later.
Okay, another half time. I just cleaned all the cassettes. They aren't like, you know, the best condition, but at least it's cleaner than before. That's the brake disc hub, and this is the sprocket hub. Okay, it's, you know, been knocked out a couple of times, and still says OTK. I mean, I scrubbed it pretty good, but it still says OTK. I don't know if you can see it right here. Yeah, this still says OTK. I think I scrubbed it out, but yeah, there it is. OTK, very barely seeing OTK magnesium. But anyway, so these I've sort of retained the original color. Those have been scrubbed a bit more. These are the key and the Allen key screws that goes with it. Yep, nice and clean. Next, I'm gonna clean the axle. Looks pretty nasty. I'll rust it up. And my chassis is still out there, waiting to have the paint stripped. Anyway, let's get started on the axle. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say about this kart. When I first got it, the owner actually said to me, you know, the kart is ready to run on the track. As soon as you get it, just put some petrol in it, and then you can run. You know, that's like so far from the truth, because the first thing that I noticed when the kart came was that the fuel hose was so old. It was all crumpled and it snapped off. You know, it was not connected. Second thing was the brake disc was completely screwed. Like, it was so rusted up, and there's like this huge cutout on it. I think it was just so old. It just cracked out. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, the kart was in such poor condition. But the thing is, I got this kart literally, I think, like 1/6 of the original price of a completely new Cosmic Kart, including the Vortex ROK engine. So, no, even more. I think it was 1/8 or 1/7. Yeah, it's around there. I got it so cheap. I got it close to like, I think just $1,000 US. You know, but like, I mean, if you get a completely new chassis with an ROK engine, I think you'd be having to pay what, $7,000 to $8,000. Anyway, so yeah, I got it completely super cheap. So what I was basically trying to get was just the chassis, the major components, and the engine. Okay, so unless I have another way of doing it, this is probably the best I could get it to. It's a lot better than before already. So yeah, I just can't get those really tough rusted spots. Probably have to get a new axle eventually, but this is probably the best I can get it to. Looks okay for now. Anyway, that's it for the axle.
5 minutes later.
Alright guys, I've already started stripping the paint. As you can see, the paint is just peeling off by itself. I'll probably later just do some like a high pressure water jet or something, I don't know, just to strip it off. And I'm doing the wooden frame so that I can send it off. So as I'm doing that, I'm just letting it sit. So yeah. Anyway, update you guys after this is done.
6.5 hours later.
Now the biggest worry about getting a second-hand chassis is if they did any welds on it to fix the frame. But they didn't, which is great.
2,000 years later.
Alright guys, so I've basically stripped all the paint from the chassis now. Looks very, very clean. It actually looks kind of nice in this color as well. I've tried taking out all the rust, treating all the rust. So when I send it off for a paint job, it should be perfect. Anyway, so I'm just gonna finish off a little bit here. This is the toughest part to get rid of. It's just annoying, such a tight space. Anyway, I'll be done soon.
5 minutes later.
Alright guys, so this is the chassis all wrapped up and ready to go. I've included some of the doors from my cabinet. I wanted them painting it in the same color. So I'm gonna set it all off together, and I should be able to get it all back within a week, including a new Jacko seat. This is the new bars I've got, but these are not original Tony OTK stuff. Unfortunately, to get the original OTK is extremely expensive, so this is the new steering column that I got. The reason why I'm getting that is obviously because the old one is like a banana. I can't find it, or whatever. Old one is like a banana, so I need a completely new one, a straight one. Yep, so here it is. And 2 new steering rods, and this is for the back, and maybe this second-hand to send it over with a huge mark on it. Whatever, I'm not gonna bother with it. Anyway, so I got a lot of new Jimmy screws for the rear axle. Got a lot of new screws to replace the old ones. These are the old ones. But today I'm gonna keep cleaning a lot of the parts. So I'm just gonna soak them in a degreaser and let it sit for a while, so that it's nice and clean. Anyway, let's get going. Now, though I did say that I was going to basically replace all the screws that I can, but there are a couple of specialty screws that I still can't find the right size for, so I have to basically clean all of those just to make sure that they're in the best condition that they can be before I install them again. So that includes like the brake caliper nozzles, I think brake tubing sort of connectors, things like that. But yeah, basically everything that I could change, I would. It's just that some of the minor components, they're a bit more unique. I can't really find a perfect replacement for them yet. So yeah, that's why I have to clean them. Anyway, so for here, I'm just cleaning all the major components, all the key components for the chassis. It's just, as you can see, it's all oxidized, it's all rusted. A lot of them has a lot of wear and tear on it. So yeah, I'm just trying to clean up as much as possible so that, you know, it's in the best working condition. This cleaning job actually took me quite a few hours to complete because what I did was I first used a degreaser to get rid of all the nasty gunk, dirt that's on it. And then because there's a bunch of rust, so I had to use WD-40 after that as well. And then I also use the carburetor cleaner. Carburetor cleaner is actually quite nice for cleaning a lot of tough stains. So I sometimes use that other than degreaser as well. So there are a lot of jump cuts with this video, especially with like you know, stripping the paint and, you know, cleaning some of these components. Problem with that is sometimes I get so worked up, well, not worked up, but I concentrate so hard in doing one thing that I completely forget that I need to, you know, change the camera angle and start recording. And I sometimes, you know, set up the angle correctly, but then I forget to sort of hit record. So it's annoying. Like I have so many times that I just completely lost hours of, you know, progress. Well, I didn't lose the progress, but it wasn't recorded, so that's really annoying. So I'm still trying to figure out a better solution. I mean, maybe I need to get a few more cameras set up around the workshop, you know, have them like sort of on remote control or something. I'm still having a hard time figuring that out because I had a couple of old GoPro Hero 4 sessions, Hero Session 4, or something like that. I forgot the name. But they were on the Wi-Fi remote. And for some reason, it's never like, you know, smooth sailing. So I would hit turn on button. It would turn one camera on. Then I have to manually turn the other one on. Once it's, you know, all connected, I hit record and only one record. So yeah, it's a nightmare controlling all the cameras. But anyway, so yeah, I'll have to just keep working on that and try to find the better solution. Anyway, so you know, although these components have a lot of dirt and, you know, rust on it, after a bit of cleaning, it really does look very nice. The only problem I'm having with these components is oxidation. I really can't scrub too hard with the oxidized stuff, because if I scrub too hard, I'm going to strip, you know, the chrome finish and also the OTK color. I love that color, you know, so yeah, I don't want to scrub too hard. The rust I'm okay with, you know, but yeah, the oxidation is really very difficult to get rid of. All right, so all the parts are now shiny clean. All my screws are still on the way, so it's gonna take me a bit to sort of assemble everything. But yeah, this is the screws that are still being degreased, because it's also including the brake caliper nozzles and stuff, so I want to leave them in there for a bit longer. All right, guys, a few more days have passed and I've cleaned out more components. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting to record a lot of the process, so I'm just going to have to show you the end result. And I have already sent out the chassis for a repaint, and they should be starting within today or tomorrow. And I should be getting my chassis back within the week, hopefully, actually, hopefully. And I'll show you guys what the cleaned out components look like. So as you see, cleanly laid out. I've taken out all the old stickers. All the components are now shiny and very, very clean. No longer that nasty gunked up look. Obviously, it's also very good for performance as well. So yeah, it was a very fun process, although it took a very, very long time just to clean out all the nasty stuff and also treat all the rust. So what I'm going to start doing now is going to reassemble everything, so that, you know, when a chassis comes, it's much easier to install. So I'm going to end this video right here. So the next one would be assembly, all about assembly. Anyway, that's it for now. See you in the next video. Peace, guys.